Okay, so Heather, can you say it's fall bulb planting time?
It's fall bulb planting time!
That's perfect. Hey guys, it's fall bulb planting time. It's Phil here from smilinggardener.com, and my sister Haley and I have teamed up to write this article for you. What we did is we wrote an article on my website. If you're not on my website right now, I'll put a link down below, and that's the full article. What we're going to do with this video is just really quickly share a few points from that article. So Haley, why don't you remind people where you live?
I live in Amsterdam in the Netherlands.
So that's why we started thinking about this bulb thing, right?
Yeah, the home of the tulip.
Right. So that's why we started thinking about this, and because it's fall and it's time to think about planting, we wanted to talk about it. So Haley, I will ask you first, when should people plant their bulbs? When in the fall?
Okay, well that obviously depends on where people live. You want to leave about 4 to 6 weeks of above freezing temperatures so that the roots can get established. And that is so that in the spring, the root system is already established and they can go right into producing big flowers.
You said established twice.
Twice.
Okay.
Really established.
Okay, so I'll talk just quickly about choosing bulbs. So obviously when we're talking about planting fall bulbs, that means these are bulbs that are going to flower in the spring. So we plant those in the fall. All there is to choosing your bulbs, you want to buy them now in the fall. You don't want to buy them in the spring and then store them until then. So buy them now, get the biggest bulbs you can. So whatever varieties you're planting, choose the biggest ones from the shelf and just get ones that are healthy and not diseased. That's basically all there is to it. And then when we get into actually planting them, Haley, why don't you tell them about the location? Why don't you try to say in Dutch your little Dutch saying?
I'm so sorry to anybody who speaks or understands Dutch. Okay, there's a Dutch saying, and it's something like this. It's like, ballen houden niet van nat wouden. I think I'm saying that more or less correct. It means bulbs don't like wet feet. So you want to pick a location that is sunny, most of the time sunny, and that has good drainage, so you don't have puddling water beneath them. And
then when it comes to preparing the area, you don't need, in fact, if you're on my website, I'll link to a couple articles. You don't need bone meal, you don't need 10-10-10. All you need is to loosen up the soil. If you have some well-done compost, that's wonderful to work that in there. And then you can just, you can either loosen the whole area or just dig your holes where you're going to plant your bulbs. And you can even dig a little deeper than the bulb is going to go in order to loosen the soil below that. So speaking of depth, Haley, why don't you tell people how deep to plant them?
So you want to plant something like 3 to 5 times the height of the bulb. So big bulbs need to generally go a little bit deeper. And what you might want to do so that you get kind of a layering effect of blooming is plant some deeper and some more shallow, because deeper bulbs are going to bloom later, and so that should prolong the flowering time of whatever crop you've planted.
Why don't you say maintenance too, because there's not much to do for maintenance, right? After you plant them?
Yes. There's really not too much to do. After you plant, give them a good water. And Phil, I have a question actually to ask you.
Okay.
When you're planting garlic, are you supposed to take off the tunic, the papery?
No.
No. So you break up the cloves and you can put the whole thing in?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I did have one other point about keeping squirrels away. So if some people have squirrels or other little critters that like to come and steal your freshly planted bulbs, there's a couple things you can do. One is you can put mulch. Sometimes just a couple inches of mulch will help. Or if the leaves are all falling, just pile the mulch on top there. And actually, I'll let people go to the blog for the other things, because I know this video is getting a little bit long. There's a couple other little things you can do, so we'll leave them hanging. We had a question we wanted to ask people, right?
Yes. I was wondering, where does everybody live? You know, what's your climate like, and if it's time for you guys to plant now, or you still have a little bit to wait?
Yeah, because we plant in September, but other people might plant in different months because it's different climate, right?
Yep.
Okay, that is all for today.
Woo!